Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final week of the regular season for Shortman's League. I am Purple Haze, and joining me is.
To Lois of Vulcan, it's wonderful to be here with you and with everybody in this absolutely insanely tight, crazy final week that we're looking ahead
It
here.
it has been a crazy year, that is for sure. So many, first off, props to Shortman setting the scoring record this year, with
Yeah,
1 week left to go, too.
that number's wild, and
hmm
just to think that Shortman's still just one game better than everybody else with that many points just shows how weird of a season it's been.
Exactly. And definitely a really weird year this year, but also a fun year. Like, there's been a lot of close matchups, a lot of newcomers showing up and making their presence known, a lot of old returners that showing up and being like, "Hey, I was part of this thing back in the day." So it was great to have everybody involved in our 20th season, and really appreciate everybody in the league this year. I do appreciate you guys joining up and making another year of fantasy football great.
Yeah, the especially with the Discord, we've been having a ton of fun. Just everything that's
Oh
gone
yeah.
back and forth has been great. So, and of course, we miss the Shortman recaps during the travels going on. But hey, podcast is a pretty random follow up to that.
Exactly, I agree. I thought it would be something fun, just interactive. You can listen to in the background, something where you don't have to sit there and be like, "Oh, I got to read this report." But at the same time, we do appreciate this report. So, Shortman, if you're listening, thank you for your support throughout the years, really, for making these weekly reports. And enjoy your vacation, enjoy your cruise, even if you had like a 3.5 layover.
Yeah, six flight changes, and Pikachu was doing the
Right.
air traffic control, I think, for a while. So yeah, let's take a look at how last week went.
Exactly. So I think we just go ahead and just go right to Shortman's game right there because he scored a whopping 140.92 points against Luque.
I
And
mean, doubling up someone who has a 70, almost doubling up. I can do math. Is
exactly.
impressive.
Right. And really what it came down to was that performance by the Seattle defense. My God. I can't
Uh,
remember
f-
the quarterback's name from Minnesota, but he did not. He did
you
not a
know
good
what?
rookie showing.
No one's gonna remember that name of the quarterback for Minnesota.
I mean, we remember Nathan Peterman.
Do we? Do we?
I
I
mean,
don't know.
yeah, we do. But anyway,
That's fair.
for Shortman, even without Seattle's defense putting in whopping 40 points, he still would have easily won that matchup. Like Bijan showed up to that day, Rasheed Rice, which is looking to be a hell of a gamble pick that he made because I remember him making that late in
Yeah,
draft time.
yeah, good picks. I mean, especially
hmm
for the depth there. I'm will forever be jealous of not getting Aubrey, who was about average this week. When
hmm
Brandon Aubrey's average and you still score 140 points, you did pretty good. I mean, Lokwe
Exactly.
wasn't. Yeah, Lokwe didn't do too bad. I mean, 73 most weeks in the league is
That
competitive to win, but
that is a
just
winning
got
score.
steamrolled. Yeah,
And
just
if we
got
even
steamrolled.
look at the bench players right now, yeah, you could have done better putting Jordan Love in instead of Trevor Lawrence, but that still wouldn't have done much at all. So
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten you there.
that was a definitely a good performance by Shortman, and with that win there, he actually locks up the number 1 seed. Nobody can catch up to him in points overall. Nobody can you can tie his record, but he has over almost 1250 points for.
I'd like to
So
say that technically he's locked up the number one seed. We don't know. Mountain Men could go for 400 points next week, but yeah, he's definitely the number
yeah,
one. He's definitely the number one seed.
exactly. So I'd like to safe to say that locks up a playoff spot right there. On the flip side, when we're talking about scoring, let's look at the least scoring as
Oh,
Purple Haze. Yes, me. We did drop the ball against Sigma Slayers in a 34 to 43 points. And looking back on this, first off, what's going on, Lamar Jackson? What are you
black
doing,
magic
man?
ran out. The black magic ran out of whatever it is you've
hmm
been able to do to
Well,
voodoo the other team.
It it no, it did not run out because he still scored under 45 points there. The defense is still strong. The problem is that we did not start the appropriate players there. We didn't trust Scary Terry against Broncos defense that had PS2 back, and
Oh,
he had an
that's a
amazing game.
good. Oh yeah, I'm just redoing the math, and you should have ditched DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and
Yeah.
it would have been a squeaker. Or let's think about it this way: you could have had a competent quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this is 2 weeks in a row where Lamar puts up negative points. So, but
Yeah,
that win right there helps Sigma Slayers actually come in for a potential stealing a spot right there for the
right. Yeah,
playoffs. So,
that's a playoff thieving victory there.
exactly. In our next game of the week, we had Mafia Squirrels and Darth Dallas. Both are 8-5 at the end of this week here, so they are both still in the hunt for a playoff spot and the number 2 bye. Um, Daniel Jones, for as good as he's been in the early year, he's starting to fall off because he's got that fractured leg right now, and that's
Yeah,
definitely hurt him quite a bit.
it's not going to do great. I just want to, shout out for Darth for always believing in Dak Prescott and finally that belief coming through.
Exactly.
The
Also,
the rest,
the trades that Darth Dallas made this year to actually get in the position that they are,
yes,
like
yes,
normally we rip on Darth Dallas for those trades, but also he did really good to get some value there going.
a
So, like,
100% hot hands with the trades this year. They
mhm,
don't always work out, and I think that some people may have declined trades that's helped Darth this year. A lot of
mhm.
people were snooping around my team for Justin Jefferson, and I should have gotten rid of him in the first chance I had.
Oh no, like that's another story right there. As we talked about Minnesota's quarterback situation, like that's a definitely
Very
different
true.
story. But Darth Dallas getting that close victory against Mafia Squirrels, which I said it definitely helps there in positioning. It definitely helps them in terms of like making a playoff spot. But
Yes.
like props to you, Darth Dallas. You did pretty good. I definitely
Yeah, that was a
appreciate that.
great
Uh,
game, great matchup.
Now, what about your game against Devil
Oh,
Dogs
we don't
last
want to
week?
talk. Well,
No, we
here's
got
the
to.
thing.
We got to.
Here's the thing. There's someone named Justin Jefferson who has been an anchor on my roster this year.
Is that 4
Yeah,
receiving yards I see?
that is four, the number four, which, as we know, is worth zero point 0.2 points in our scoring metric. I really, this was kind of a back and forth game for a while, but as soon
Mhm.
as Jefferson basically laid an egg, it was pretty over. And I could squint on the margins on my bench and have gotten closer, but it
Yeah,
wasn't there. And so yeah, I mean, just props. I mean, when I see A Chain, when I see Jamar Chase
right.
projected to have 10 points plus, they're going to come through. So Devil Dogs is, those two are really strong points of their roster, and it came out
Exactly.
came out on the short end for
And
me
like
this week.
the result of that right there, like you're fighting for a playoff spot now because of
A
that
hundred
loss.
percent,
Like it's
a
gonna be
hundred
tough.
percent. Yep,
Uh
absolutely.
Travel by Tiffany against Primetime Wendorf. We had a very close 5 point game there. Uh
Absolutely. And speaking of fighting for a playoff spot, is prime time. Like
I
this
know.
loss out of, I mean, with Aaron Rodgers in the negative,
Hmm.
with poor wide receiver production, except for AJ Brown, the one and
Yeah.
only. Drama like Tiffany's showing up at the end of the season here.
Exactly. Like they have like yes, they are out of the race. They unfortunately won't make the playoffs. Might not have a chance to not make the consolation bracket, but also
Indeed.
like at this point, if you're down in those trenches right now in the rough, you want to play spoiler. You want to make everybody's life a miserable hell kind of thing. And
Exactly.
that's
And
exactly what Travel by is doing right now.
yeah, and it's not a bad roster. It's a little streaky, but AJ
Hmm.
Brown gets hot.
Hmm.
We like that Jets defense. So Travel by Tiffany's got a roster
Yeah.
that isn't easy to dismiss this upcoming
And
week.
then also David Montgomery had a pretty good game when Gibbs did not. So even though
Yeah, I mean,
they did lose at Green Bay, but still, like that was a pretty good performance from Montgomery getting that touchdown there.
yeah, shout out to Vidal on primetime Wendorf, but it's
Hmm.
same position that I'm in. It's win, you gotta win, and you gotta have help.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing. Mountain Men and the All Mights, like, man, I believed in the All Mights. I thought they had a pretty solid roster, but like Josh Allen did not have a good game based on the par for Josh Allen. Like
Right,
ever
yeah,
since
and
his
you
like 3 touchdown, 3 rushing touchdown game, like
exactly.
you expect more out of that. And like
Well, Yeah, and top line of the All Mites roster, Josh Allen, CeeDee Lamb. You see that production, and it's 30 points. You're off to Wintown, and then I mean Pierce did
Pierce had a good
fine.
game, but
Yeah, Pierce did fine.
Trey Tucker dropped the ball, and then Sean Tucker, the tight end or other running back, did not do anything because Bucky Irving was back this week, and
Bad
that was a big
week
thing.
for Tuckers. Bad week for Tuckers.
Exactly, especially God, what's his name? Kicker, former Baltimore
Oh,
kicker.
the kicker. Just every week's a bad week for him. Yeah,
Exactly.
Matt. Like, let's All Might's probably looking at consolation bracket. Mountain Men always a problem in the playoffs, and they'll be
Oh
there
yeah.
again.
Yes, they. From my calculations, they should make the playoffs this year. No problem.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think they're in a great. It would be I don't.
hmm,
It would be very strange. Something again. Just like Shortman's got the top seed technically locked. I think that Mountain Men are technically locked into the
exactly.
playoffs.
And then the spoiler this week, knocking Powell out of the
Yeah,
playoffs. Tight end Gabriel coming in through against Powell.
this is what this roster was supposed to do, right? Like,
Exactly.
despite the double quarterback pick, which maybe should have been leveraged into a trade at some point, like I
Hmm.
believe that way. But this is what this roster is supposed to do. Mahomes
Exactly.
like blowing up, Debo Samuel, DeAndre Swift just absolutely tearing. You can lose a point with your defense when Mahomes scores you 27, and Powell
Exactly.
just got
And
knocked out.
yeah, exactly. Like unfortunately a make or break for Powell, which really
Hmm.
impacted things for Powell. And that's
Hmm.
when he had Jamison Williams on the bench too. Like that
Yeah,
was
it
a
wasn't
big
a
thing.
it
Like,
wasn't enough to save him, but it would have
mhm.
been close, I guess.
You replace Jamison Williams with Troy Franklin, that would have been a pretty closer result. But
Oh yeah, it's closer, but you're still they're still short. So
yeah,
when you never feel good leaving 18 points on the bench, that's for sure.
exactly. Like that's rough. But also, as any fantasy manager knows, you are going to do that at some point in your career. You're going to leave a lot
That's
of points
true.
on the bench. Trust
That's
me,
true.
I know.
In
So,
and yeah, and just with that tight end Gabriel and Travel by Tiffany are actually a little bit in a fight to avoid last place. There's no guarantees of places yet.
exactly.
So that keeps it fun. It's always nice to have a reason to stay engaged for the last week of the regular season when you're out of
Ex-
the playoffs.
exactly. So, after that week, here are what the standings are look at. So, Shortman's number 1 at 9-4. And I have technically they could lose the first spot, giving God striking down some like stadium in the NFL. Who knows? I don't know. But Shortman is definitely locking up the first number 1 seed right now. Mount
Yes.
Mount like the 1, 2, and 3 teams right now, I feel are going to be making the playoffs, regardless if they win or lose.
Yes, I agree. There's too many points on the board for Mountain Men and Mafia Squirrels. They're the only ones above 1,000 points for. Even with losses, they're gonna have the tiebreakers
Exactly.
over the anyone who's at 7-6 who might win.
Exactly. Like the closest right now is Darth Dallas because they got a 20-point difference, like almost a little bit more than 20 points difference over the Mafia Squirrels. So
Yeah, and
there's some games that need to go people's ways in order to get that number 2 by. So,
yeah, I would even say that Darth is mostly safe. That
mhm.
roster, love Dak Prescott. I want to send my compliments for beating the Kansas City Chiefs
Oh yeah.
in what happened to be the most watched ever regular season game. I don't know if you saw that. That was
No, I did
incredible.
not.
I
Well,
think that Chiefs Cowboys game most watched ever for regular season.
now granted there was 3 games on Thanksgiving and that's the middle game and whatnot, but still props to Dallas.
Yeah.
Like Dallas honestly might steal a fucking playoff spot.
Yeah, they're gonna. I think so. So like, you never know with Dak. Could lay a big egg and then get
Mhm.
past. But even Darth feels like if the vibes feel good, for
Exactly.
a playoff spot. So we're
Mhm.
kind of looking. I mean, the way I'm eyeballing it is we're looking at 2 spots available and maybe. I mean, obviously, Purple Haze has got the front running, a win and you're set. But that points
Yep.
for the Black Magic might not stick around.
It might not stick around, and I'm going against the highest scoring team next week
Yeah.
in Shortman.
So you
Now,
you need the voodoo.
typical fashion, like, if you lock up the number 1 side, it's respectful to sit all your people, but also, I don't think anybody wants to see Purple Haze in the playoffs.
No,
Nobody wants to.
I don't
So,
think that they're getting a break this week. Sorry, buddy.
no, they're not. I fully expect that. I honestly do expect to lose, but also, like, who knows what that voodoo magic has? Like, I don't know what I did this year for that. So, it's definitely interesting. So, anyway, here's our standings. We can count out 5 teams right now, unfortunately. So,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
Pow, you did good. You actually had the high almost you almost broke
Almost a
10K point
thousand
score,
points. Almost 1,000 points.
but matchups just did not do you well this year. That is the problem
Mm-hmm.
right there. Like that points against for like 10K or 1K.
1K.
Yeah.
10K would be insane. Let's not imagine a league where you get 10K against you.
Oh no, no. But yeah, like Pow, you did good this year. I hope you do well in the consolation bracket. I think you're gonna get there. Devil Dogs, you did pretty solid as well too. You won a game. You stole one last week.
Mm-hmm.
And then All Mights, you did pretty good there. Like we're looking for consolation bracket again. Consolation bracket is the 7 through
7 through 12. It's the next
exactly.
as a multiple time consolation bracket champion. I think I know it's 7 through 12. So
Yep.
and yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, Trouble by
Mhm.
Tiffany and Titan Gabriel are actually fighting it out for to avoid last place.
Exactly. And
Tiffany's got it with a win. If Gabriel wins and Tiffany loses, we'll go to
mhm.
points.
Yeah. And honestly, like that's going to be a critical matchup there for Titan Gabriel and Sigma
Mm-hmm.
Slayers this coming week
Mm-hmm.
there. So,
Yes, yeah, it's a big one. So
mhm.
4 teams at 7 and 6, kind of fighting for that last playoff spot.
And even then with tiebreakers, really it's going to be like 4 through
Hmm.
9 right there.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's going to be tough. So,
Yeah, definitely, yeah, and especially if the Purple Hazeth loses, it's gonna be a tough road. So
it is.
some interest, lots of interest still.
There is. Like there's going to be a lot of teams there who are looking in and being like I need Purple Haze to die. I need them to lose against the
Well, that's
Shortmen.
a little extreme, but I'm not disagreeing.
Exactly. So, from what I see from my calculations, the second seed is still possible for 4 teams. Uh, so,
Yes, I yeah.
so Mountain Men, if they win and everybody else loses behind them, Mafia Squirrels, Darth Dallas, and Purple Haze, they got the number 2 seed. They don't have to worry about
Hmm.
next week at all. Uh, Ma-
Yeah.
Mafia Squirrels needs Mountain Men to lose, straight up.
Yep.
Uh, and they also need score 20 more points, I feel, over Darth Dallas to go ahead and get that second seed.
Yeah,
Uh,
so well, you start to look at those, those tiebreakers. The funny
mhm,
thing is that a lot of the matchups are like cross, Mafia Squirrels playing All Might. So
mhm,
there's not really, there's not a ton of like a ton of those groovy head-to-heads outside of
mhm.
me in prime time. So
Yeah,
I think it's gonna come down to points. It's gonna come down to numbers watching. Like, if everyone's winning, who's
mhm,
winning more? Who can overcome the points numbers? If everyone's
exactly.
losing, who's at least putting up a fight?
Right, and I have 2 games of the week here. Actually, we'll get to that later. But I think
Excellent.
both of those 2 games are gonna be high impact. Darth Dallas, they need a win, and they need
Yep.
Mountain Men to lose and Mafia Squirrels to lose.
Easy.
And then if I, Purple Haze, wants to get that number 2 seed, I need Mountain Men to lose, I need Mafia Swirls to lose, I need Darth Dallas to lose.
It's not impossible.
It's
None
not
of them are
impossible.
playing each other.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing. So for those people who are out of the playoffs in the main playoff bracket, you have the chance to be spoilers right now.
Chance of a lifetime.
Exactly. You can be those. So my spoiler games I have right now is Mountain Men against Devil Dogs.
Yep.
Uh, if Devil Dogs go ahead and come out and beat Mountain Men, that's going to be huge impact
Mm-hmm.
on the league right there. The next one I have is All Mights against Mafia Squirrels,
Mm.
and if All Mights win that, I mean that's puts Mafia Squirrels in a very dangerous spot where they might miss the playoffs. So
Yeah, they
And
gotta
then
come through on that. Yeah.
mhm. And then the other big matchup is the Sigma Slayers against Taida and Gabriel. Like they are brothers, so we got that. We got our quote unquote Harble going on right now.
Yeah, what don't we love more than a sibling rivalry to knock each other out? So I almost said on Christmas Eve. It's
Hmm.
far too early for Christmas. A sibling
Exactly.
rivalry on the first weekend of December to really get your blood boiling.
Exactly. So like that, those are my quote unquote spoiler games. If people want to make a huge impact, those teams there that are down in the dumps, you can make an impact on this league. You can definitely change the script, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
So
this is so fascinating just from a scoreboard watching as we get into the game, you know, the
yeah.
Dallas Detroit tomorrow night and then the weekend is just
Hmm.
so much of it's going to matter, especially, you know, if among the 7 and 6s, like who's scoring, who's overperforming, because even the 7 and 6
Exactly.
teams are only, I mean, they're separated by 50 points. That's a lot, but we saw 50-point spreads last week. We see 50-point spreads between the highest scoring and the lowest scoring teams every week, so it's not out of the question.
It's not definitely like somebody could definitely step up and be like, "Yeah, I'm going to steal Christmas for you. I'm going to be the Grinch." So
Beautiful.
like, so going on to the games for this week, let's take a look at that. So first off, it's a repeat of week one. So if you remember week one matchups, that's who you're going against. So the
Hmm.
obviously on my screen, it's going to show me first, and I'm going against Shortman. And Purple Haze has they gave Shortman the second lowest point scored that they had all year.
This one is Yahoo calls this the game of the week. I think that just because we know Shortman is locked in, it's certainly a big game for you. Purple Haze has
Yeah, yeah,
got to figure out how to come away with this with a win because the
hmm
tiebreakers are so nasty against you if you lose
it
and
is.
you're
It
thrown against 8 and 6 teams.
it is 100%. The first thing that Purple Haze needs to do is Lamar Jackson needs to show up and show
Yep.
he's MVP quality.
Yep.
Other than that, like this is actually the first time where Purple Haze's up roster has been fully healthy. Like we got Nico Collins, he's not concussed anymore. Scary Terry, he's back. He doesn't have a hamstring anymore. Yes, he was on limited snap count last week, but I mean he still scored a touchdown kind of thing. So like that's gonna be a big thing right there. And like RJ Harvey, like doesn't get a lot of yards, but he gets scores. That's the big thing with RJ Harvey right now. I think he has like 5 touchdowns in the past 3 games.
He began getting scores after I cut him. I'd like you to thank me for that right now.
You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate
Absolutely. Yeah, I
it.
mean the rosters there. The thing is for shortmen, there you know you've got
Mhm.
Goff, you've got Turpin, you've got Aubrey. Thursday night games have been garbage
by
this year.
by the way,
So if you're
rookie performances. Emenka Big, I can't pronounce his name. Tampa Bay receiver, rookie wide receiver.
right,
My God.
Egbuka's wild. Just
Yeah,
what a season. Egbuka's
exactly.
killing it. And so like I think that the your hope is that the Thursday night
Mhm.
game is like 10-7 Lions. Aubrey gets an extra point. No
Mhm.
one really scores much.
Mhm.
That's what you're looking for
Right.
to then move into the weekend with hopes for a win.
I am interested in the choice of defense for Shortman, picking up the Cleveland defense against Tennessee. Yet,
Well,
actually, no. Cleveland defense is very freaking good.
it's
Like,
Tennessee.
do you think Miles Garrett's going to set the record this week?
I do. I think so. Well, maybe not this week, but I do think he gets the record.
I think so too. And then Jonathan Taylor, who has been a beast all year,
100%.
but teams are starting to kind of figure him out right now. So,
Well, everyone's figuring Indianapolis out, and that game
mhm,
against Jacksonville is really big for playoff implications and all the rest. So
exactly.
I've not plugged into the playoff simulator. What's better for the Chiefs to stay out of the playoffs? But that's what I'm rooting for in that game.
Yeah. But on the whole, I think Shortman will beat me this next week. I don't
Yeah,
think the voodoo is going to last that long. It can only hold up so much.
it just needs to hold up one more week, and then it just needs to hold up three
Hmm.
more weeks after that.
All right. Next game of the week, we have Mafia Squirrels against the Wall Mites, and
Yeah, yeah, tight. This one's a tight projection.
it is a very tight projection. And the All Mites can definitely play spoiler. If they beat Mafia Squirrels, that hurts Mafia Squirrels. Even though I technically have them in the playoffs right now.
I think it would take a very bad Mafia Squirrels performance and
Yeah.
very, very good performances from other teams to knock them out on tiebreakers. Also,
Hmm.
All Mites, if you're listening, you need to get you need to get Hampton off the starting roster there, who is I believe that says injured reserve.
Oh yeah, he is. Uh, they say he's trending in the right direction from Monday Night Football
Oh,
right now.
all right.
So
Well, what do I know?
there's a chance, but
Uh,
I would me personally I'd be hesitant on that. I'd find
betting
another running back.
betting on a running back for to come back from Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Although there's the Tuckers. The Tuckers have been benched, which is a good move.
Yes, Trey Tucker and John Tucker are both benched, but also you need to pick somebody to replace right now. Is my opinion on the running back. There's a
For the dregs of the free agent pile.
exactly. So and then your matchup against Primetime Wendorf, which that's one of my two games of the week.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to be too. I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be too self-promoting. But this is the game that has the most like both 7 and 6. The
Mm-hmm.
winner has the best shot, or is controlling their own shot at a playoff spot. It might not get there, but you gotta win
Exactly.
this one. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a fun set of
Mm-hmm.
matchups. Like,
It is,
um,
and the biggest thing is though is that you don't have Drake May this week.
no Drake May, so I'm stuck relying on Jalen Hurts and
I know. Normally, like
I mean,
a year ago, you'd be like, "Yeah, I got Jalen Hurts, that's fine."
yeah,
But
I mean,
Drake May has done so much this year.
Drake May's been fantastic, though he and Hurts have actually been pretty similar in scoring across the year.
Right.
Just need a big. I mean, I want a shootout. Buffalo Cincinnati shootout would be great, and by shootout
Hmm.
I mean running the ball, not throwing the ball.
Right.
Don't want it to be a battle of the quarterbacks, because
You need
yeah,
JJ McCarthy though to throw
I
to Justin
right.
Jefferson. That's the
Justin, like,
biggest thing.
I don't know. Justin Jefferson, does he have a touchdown this season? I don't know if he
I
does.
think he does. I think
Okay,
he has at least
one.
one.
Okay, well,
One.
yeah, this is
Oh
gonna be
wow.
fun. Yeah, this is gonna be a fun matchup,
Hmm.
and hopefully one that people keep their
Yeah.
eyes on because
I
it is.
yeah. I like the Kenneth Gainwell pickup. I do like
Yeah,
him.
had to do something. The running backs have been rough this season, but
Hmm.
them's the breaks.
Yep, and I think Cameron Dicker's actually going to put up some good points against Philly because I think Philly's going to be good in the red zone, so you can get some points off
Yes,
the kicker right there.
yeah.
So,
Who doesn't love Dicker the kicker?
I mean, I like the thicker kicker from the Rams.
Ah, but he's no Dicker.
Hmm. All right, next matchup we have Devil Dogs against Mountain Men. Devil Dogs has a chance to play spoiler right here.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and honestly, they're starting JJ McCarthy. I have not been impressed with JJ McCarthy this year.
No, it's a flyer. I don't know who's
Hmm.
their bench quarterback even. Do they have a bench quarterback? Oh, it's
It's
Geno
Geno Smith.
Smith. Yeah,
Yeah,
great. Yeah, JJ McCarthy, Minnesota's McCarthy's got to figure it out, or Minnesota's back in the wilderness, right? So
exactly.
you root for the kid, you hope for the best.
How much do you
Yeah,
think Minnesota is regretting getting rid of Sam Darnold right now?
97% regret,
Mm.
I think.
Now they do have some good receivers in Devontae, Chris Godwin, and Jamar
Hmm.
Chase. So
Yeah, well, as I know,
and
A Chain, yeah, it's there's a lot. A
mhm,
Chain and Chase can turn around a whole team,
yeah,
so there's certainly possibilities there.
like unfortunately, Double Dogs are eliminated right now. They can't make the normal playoff bracket.
Indeed,
But
indeed,
God, I am glad they do because that roster looks scary. Aside from the quarterback.
it is. This roster, if it were consistent, would
Hmm.
be pretty. I mean, it is pretty fearsome. I lost to him last week. I'm not going to sell it short. So
Yeah.
it's a good roster. Mountain Man always seems to figure out the little move They can make stuff. I'm sure they'll be keeping an eye on Kyron Williams in
Yeah.
that
Uh,
questionable status.
Honestly, I like the Jacoby Brissett start right
Yeah,
there.
that's a winning start. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And then you have George Pickens, who is probably the best free eight or trade that Dallas made this offseason.
Yeah,
George
great
Pickens
trade.
is insane.
Yeah,
But
great trade. It should be this one should be fun, but I wouldn't be surprised if right there's a much higher downside for Devil Dogs, especially with JJ McCarthy.
exactly. Uh, this is the non-factor game of the week. No matter who wins,
Yeah.
who loses, Pow against Travel by Tiffany. Like, sorry guys, you don't have an impact on the league this year or at the
Well,
end last week.
Tiffany with a win can not be last place, so that's something to
That
play for.
that is something to play for. So
Otherwise, these are some guys. Look at these guys.
yeah, you got Joe Burrow, AJ Brown, Darnell Mooney. Like Travel by
Half
Tiffany.
of the right, Pal's got half the Broncos receiving core, so it's good stuff.
It's good. We can see some favoritism there. It's okay. I'm all good for that. Just
Yeah,
draft every
well,
player
nothing
for
wrong
one
with that.
team.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Next game we have Darth Dallas against Loquay, which is
Yeah,
that is my second game of the week right
good
here.
pick. Good pick because it's
Because
very direct impacts.
exactly, because Darth Dallas is in control of their own destiny, but if
Hmm.
Loquay takes that win, then like flip the table. Things are completely overturned right now.
Yeah, I mean, if Loquay wins this, this is as close as we've got to, the win and you're in type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Loquay's got the points. If all the 7 and 6 teams win, it depends on what you do in your match, but they're in the zone where a strong win can jump them over with the tie breaks. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not going to beat Darth by 60 to
Right.
flip that positioning, but it's nice to be in a chance or in a position where
Right.
you can have that much of a direct impact.
Also, Darth, if you're listening, Miles Price is not projected to play, so you need to replace him.
Yep, got to keep an eye on that.
Yep.
We know that the trades are done, so you won't be able to trade for somebody, but
Hmm.
you might want to pick someone up. It looks like this is funny too. Like if you look at Darth's bench, Kittle's on a bye,
Yeah.
McCaffrey's on a bye, Brian Robinson. Oh, now we see
They're,
the problem here.
you're
Yeah,
relying
so
on San Fran.
the fact that it's the last week of the regular season and we are still seeing buys is just how weird the NFL schedule's become.
It is. Well, that 17th game definitely throws a wrench in
Indeed.
everybody's plans.
Indeed.
So, but yeah, this is my second game of the week right here because that
It's a good
has
pick.
so many implications.
Absolutely.
All right, and then our last game of the week here, we have tight end Gabriel against Sigma Slayers, where tight end Gabriel, after putting up a good performance last week, could knock Sigma Slayers out of the playoffs.
Yeah, this one's fun. Sigma, you need a
Hmm.
quarterback. Like
Hmm.
find one, manifest one.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
Daniels gonna play?
Jane Daniels should be good to go. He should be good to go this
Interesting.
next
Well,
week.
and that's so in the Washington has been so bad this year without
Right.
Daniels, so it's good that he's
They
getting
have,
back on the field.
oh, especially with that injury Jaden Daniels had. Like, oh my
Yes, yeah,
God, to come back after that.
yeah,
Like, I thought he was done for the year after I saw his elbow going the other way.
yeah. We like grudge matches like this. This
Hmm.
should be a fun. This is a game where you don't look at the records. This one could have some meat to it.
Exactly. So, like, that is probably one of the closer games right there. So,
Yeah, this one should be fun.
all right. So, anyway, as far as I know, we have three teams for sure in the playoffs, regardless of win losses. And if I doubt anybody's going to score like 200 points right now.
Yeah, I
So,
think discounting the weird things that could possibly happen,
mhm.
I think our top three are locked. I think Darth is about as close to a lock as you can get without,
Yeah,
like, whatever lock metaphor you want to do. But, just knowing Dak's history, you could see a 20 or a 30 and someone with a big game flips it. But yeah, so we're
exactly.
looking at like two spots for sure are up for grabs.
Yeah. So, based on what I see here, we have three teams that I feel are for sure going to be in the playoffs, and that's
Beautiful.
Shortmen, who locked up the number one seed. I feel like they have no things to worry about. Please, Shortmen, sit all your players so I can actually make the playoffs, even though you don't want me to be in there. Mountain Men, I feel like are going to be in the playoffs for sure. Um, really, it's the number two seed is what's up for grab right now. If you
Yep.
want that buy,
Yes.
that's what you got. So,
Exactly.
Mountain Men and Mafia Squirrels, I feel, are going to be pretty well in position right now.
Yep.
Um, pretty much the people you need a win and you're in, and that's Darth Dallas. That's me at Purple Haze, and then Sigma Slayers. If they win, they're in. That's what I feel right now. Uh,
Yeah, I think we're going to be doing a lot of scoreboard watching, especially if you lose, because if you
mhm.
lose, then we're
Oh yeah.
really looking at, then there's 5 teams for 2 spots. If you
hmm
win, we're looking at 4 teams for one. It's going to come down. I would be shocked if somehow we get a clean 6. I don't even know. I'm sure it's
It,
mathematically possible, I think, but
yeah,
like if we get a clean 6, I'll be shocked. We're going to go to points.
exactly. And then the teams that I have where they need help is Lukway, you,
Mm-hmm.
and then Primetime Wendorf. I feel
100%.
like you guys need some help there if you want to make the playoffs. And you need to be scoreboard watching. You need to be looking to see who's going to be winning, who's going to be losing, and keep an eye on that point four total right there.
The help I'm looking for is 8 tush push touchdowns with Jalen Hurts. That's the help I need.
I like I said, I put you down for one of the games of the week because you need to beat Primetime Wendorf in order to
100%.
win.
It's great to have these a couple of these matchups line up to have tons of impact, and those that some people can be spoilers, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Exactly, but also I feel like this is probably one of the most partisan leagues in recent memory.
Yeah,
Like
this has been great.
we know who number one is. 2 through 6, we don't fricking know. We
Yeah,
really do not know what's going on there. But
you know, and end of the week, it's just
mm,
as tight as it's been all season, and that's part of the fun.
I just know a lot of people are going to root for me to lose this week
Well,
because
and
they do
it
not.
opens up a spot. It opens up a spot.
It does, but also like like I God, my point against right now. Let's see that real quick. Yeah, 754.97. That's next closest is at 8 second 60 with Sigma Slayers. No, All Might's at 858. Like, I don't know what voodoo I did. I don't know what deal I made. I might have been asleep. I might have been making some weird deal, but regardless, like, you are not going to score points against me. So,
But do you got one more week in? Yeah, that's the question.
that is the question. That's going to be the end all be all right there. But, anyway, I think that concludes our report this week. If people want to input, put any suggestions, whatnot, feel free. I hope you enjoy your trip, short man. But yeah, like we have an exciting week of football ahead of us still for this
We're
fantasy league.
we're gonna have a ton of fun. Yell at us on Discord. This was a fun way to pay homage to our recap champion. So maybe we'll do it again, eh?
I mean, Shortman's gone for another week or two.
I know, but
So,
Shortman's gone. Who else is going to run the show around here? So
mm,
you have an excellent rest of your day, my friend, and we'll see you on the gridiron.
for sure. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you start the right people. Have a wonderful time.